There's been a technical blunder in the UK. 150,000 arrest records have vanished from police computers. 150,000. These include DNA, fingerprints, arrest history. They're all gone, as are crucial intelligence inputs about suspects. They have vanished from police computers. How did this happen? Apparently, the records were accidentally wiped from police databases during a weekly deletion. Who is responsible for this? Authorities are pointing the finger at software failure. But Britain's opposition will have none of it. They say the responsibility lies with Priti Patel. She is Britain's Home Secretary, and she is now being blamed for risking public safety. Britain's Shadow Home Secretary, Nick Thomas Simmons, said that Patel must make a statement about what has gone wrong.
Russian President Vladimir Putin's biggest critic and opposition leader Alexei Navalny is returning to Russia on Sunday. Navalny is returning to Russia for the first time since he was poisoned in August last year. Navalny also faces the risk of being jailed on his return from Germany. Navalny made the decision on Wednesday, signaling his intentions to continue the political struggle against Vladimir Putin. He has also created a dilemma for Russian authorities on how to deal with one of their president's prominent critics. But Russian prison agency has already said that Navalny faces immediate arrest after he failed to report to its office. According to the prison agency, Navalny had to report to them in line with terms of a suspended sentence he received for a 2014 conviction on charges of money laundering.
The global death toll from COVID has now eclipsed the 2 million mark. The United States tops the list with almost 400,000 lives claimed by the virus. Worldwide, more than 93 million cases have been recorded.
In Brazil, Rio beachgoers seemed oblivious to the fact that their country's death toll has topped 200,000, the second highest in the world. Not even a year into the pandemic, and the demand for new grave sites continues to stretch the limits of space in communities across the country. Thousands of Americans are lining up for vaccinations in the US, but the president-elect says the pace is too slow and has promised to deliver 100 million doses in 100 days.
Before sunrise on the first day of the Kumbh Mela festival, hundreds of thousands of Hindu pilgrims congregate on the banks of the Ganges River in the northern city of Haridwar. As well as offering prayers, people immerse themselves in the river in the belief that it will wash away their sins.
Everyone has come here because of the Ganges' blessings. It will take coronavirus and all other problems away.
The 3-month festival is going ahead this year despite the coronavirus. The event's organisers and police say they've deployed thousands of officers to ensure COVID-19 protocols are followed. But few seem to be listening at the Kumbh Mela and other Hindu festivals in India this week. Millions of people are expected to visit Haridwar in Uttarakhand state for this year's Kumbh Mela. Uttarakhand's tourism director said the event will revive the economy that depends on religious tourism.
So it's official, Grania Museveni has been declared the winner. That doesn't come as a huge surprise, does it?
Well, after 35 years in power, I think very few Ugandans are surprised that President Museveni is now going into a 6th term, leading Bobi Wine. So President Museveni on just over 58% of the vote, with Bobi Wine on just over 34%. Turnout down 10% on the last elections. There's been an appeal directly after the results to all of the other participating candidates to remain calm and to accept the results of these elections. Candidates were also warned and their supporters to be aware of COVID-19 regulations as they celebrate the results.
Wrapping up a two-day exercise, Iran's Revolutionary Guards test-fired ballistic missiles against targets in the Indian Ocean. A video released by state television showed two missiles being from central Iran, hitting targets located in the northern Indian Ocean. The missiles of various classes targeted the battleships 1,800 kilometers away. The exercise was dubbed Great Prophet 15 and also featured a drone attack on a missile defense system. It was followed by the launch of a barrage of new generation surface-to-surface ballistic missiles. Iran's Armed Forces Chief of Staff, Major General Mohammad Bagheri, was present on the second day of the drill, who said that using long-range missiles from maritime targets indicates that if the enemies show any ill will towards our national interests, maritime trade routes or territory, they will be targeted and destroyed by our missiles.
I'm standing on the M4 highway south of Idlib. This is one of the most important supply routes in the country, but it's also now a target for the Russian-backed regime forces. In March 2020, the Russian-backed regime forces agreed to create a safe zone around the M4. It was agreed after Turkey's demands that 6 kilometres on either side of the M4 would be free of all military activity. But as we've travelled along this vital passage today, that is clearly not the case. Regime forces have begun massing on the outskirts of the town of Arirang. A ceasefire, also brokered by Turkey in March of last year, is being violated in this area with increasing regularity. The most recent attack was on Thursday, and 2 civilians in Arirang were killed.
These operations, they were focusing on liquor outlets. I can indicate that the police, they are hard at work as we close one liquor outlet in Pretoria, Silverton, Dross, where the restaurant was open and it was selling liquor to the clients, those who were in the restaurant. And this is contrary to the disaster management regulation 44.1, which clearly indicates that there is no sale and dispensing of liquor on and off consumption liquor outlet. Here in Alex, we also had one liquor outlet which is closed, and just now we're having one liquor outlet which is closed in Sandton. It means people are not adhering to the regulations as the president pronounced.
A Thai motorist drove onto an airport runway and into the path of an aircraft that had just landed. The motorist claimed that they had taken a wrong turn. The incident was reported from Swarnabhumi Airport in Bangkok on Tuesday. A video of the dramatic moment showing the car breaching security and driving onto the tarmac has gone viral on social media. As airport staff watched the scene in shock, airport security rushed to corner the vehicle. The video, captured by an unnamed member of the ground staff, shows the driver being escorted off the runway. Officials said the driver was high on methamphetamine and unknowingly drove into the airport. As Daily Mail reported, the driver, who was identified as Pratipat Masakul, told the police that he was drunk.
NASA's newest deep space rocket built by Boeing might have to stay grounded a little while longer. The Space Launch System was designed to return U.S. astronauts to the moon by 2024 as part of NASA's Artemis program. During an engine test on Saturday, all 4 of the SLS's engines were ignited together for the first time. But that only lasted over a minute. well below the roughly 8-minute target for the test, designed to simulate the internal conditions of a real liftoff. It was a crucial test meant to cap a nearly year-long campaign by NASA and Boeing before a debut unmanned launch later this year. The premature end of Saturday's test is just the latest in a series of setbacks. The SLS is 3 years behind schedule and nearly $3 billion over budget.